So hi to all my boxing fans. Let's talk about a bit of a review of the boxing card from the weekend and a preview of the boxing card from this Saturday. So let's talk about the review first. By far the best boxing night I've been to this year was at the Estrada card at the Forum by Matchroom Boxing. By far. Amazing fights. The Roman fight was amazing. Vargas against Soto was a complete war. And of course the rematch with Estrada was absolutely magnificent. The atmosphere was great. I mean, it kind of filled in a bit late, maybe because it was a Friday night, but eventually when it filled in, it was about 80% full. There's probably about 10, 12,000 people there. Great atmosphere. The boxing was insane. I was on row 4, so I'm always ringside. I was at ringside. I had a bit of a chat with Eddie Hearn as he was walking and trying to do more media. And he was having a great time at the card too. He was really happy with where the card was. I met with some of the boxers and the boxing team at the Renaissance Hotel. As it happens, everyone was staying at the Renaissance Hotel and LAX. That's where everyone was staying, and that's where I was staying too. So it made it easier to have a chat with some of the boxers. And again, they love the atmosphere, they love the card. I really enjoyed it. I've been to a lot of Matchroom cards in the US, and I go to quite a few boxing cards. You know, I went to the Kovalev card in Frisco, Texas. I was in Chicago for the Matchroom card. I was in Philadelphia for the Matchroom card. I just went to this California one. I'm definitely going to go to the one in Dallas. So a little bit of an exclusive. Eddie Hearn and Matchroom Boxing are going to do a Texas card, probably Dallas, sometime at the end of June or July. It hasn't been announced yet. It will be announced. You can probably guess the boxer who's going to be on there. He's a Dallas-based boxer, which they have. So we're looking forward to that, and looking forward to that card in June, July. I'm local and native to Dallas, so it makes it easier for me to get there. Don't have to pick up a flight. But again, reviewing the card, amazing card in California. I do have a few videos which I put on just for your benefit. But it was a great atmosphere, great card. I'm going to be there again this weekend in Las Vegas. And then again, I will be there on the 25th for the Usyk card. For those of you who haven't bought the tickets for the Usyk card, you have to buy the tickets. You have to buy the ticket. It's a great card. You've got Hunter, who before the new opponent was announced, was in the running for the opponent for Joshua. You have Usyk against TAKAM. That is going to be a magnificent fight. TAKAM is a heavy-handed, proper heavyweight with a lot of power and very bulky. He's really going to test out Usyk, and can Usyk, mix it with the heavyweights? We're going to find out in TAKAM, because TAKAM is a bona fide, proper heavyweight. You've seen it with the Chisora fight. You've seen it with his fight with with anti-Joshua, where Joshua could not knock him out. You've seen it with all those fights. He's a proper heavyweight. Great. You've got a unification match, a women's unification match, which is going to be magnificent. And you also have Devin Haney. I think he is the next Mayweather. I really do. Matchroom Boxing and Eddie Hearn have just taken him from Showtime. I've seen him once live. He is magnificent. I'm so looking forward to him being on that card. So if you haven't bought the tickets, buy the tickets for that. Right, going back to California. So yeah, amazing card, amazing atmosphere. The one thing I think I like about Eddie Hearn is that he is so approachable. I mean, yes, I'm a punter. Yes, I've bought some ringside tickets, and I do for most of the shows. But he is so approachable. I literally picked him up, or I grabbed him while he was walking after one of the fights, and I asked him about 7 questions, and he answered all of them really quickly. He talked about the Joshua opponent. We talked about being to Dallas. We talked about what the card was like, and he's so approachable, and he makes it so much fun. The interaction between the promoters, whether it's Frank or Eddie Hearn, and the fans, just makes the card so much better. I love the card. It was by far the best card. If I could watch that card again, and I have, I've actually watched again on Dazn. And Dazn, by the way, are doing a fabulous job. If you haven't subscribed to Dazn, why have you not subscribed to Dazn? How can you miss these cards? Even if you're not watching them, how can you miss the card in California? How can you miss the Canelo Jacobs fight this weekend? How can you miss Usyk? How can you miss Joshua? How can you miss all of the magnificent cards from the UK? You have to subscribe to Dazn. It's by far the best value proposition in boxing at the moment. I was one of the first subscribers and I haven't looked back. So great card in California. Now let's look forward now to the next card. So the one in Vegas. I'm about to fly off to Vegas, go and see the Canelo Jacobs. I love this fight. The Canelo Jacobs fight, I love it. I love it because Canelo has tried everything to try and keep it competitive with Jacob. Now that seems like a strange thing to say, but it's not really. He's put a 10 pound hydration clause because when Jacob came in with Triple G, he was about 20 pounds heavier. Jacob is a big guy for a middleweight. He is a big guy. He is a real proper big guy, and you know, and everyone knows that he hydrates. So they put this hydration clause to try and restrict him. I think it's going to backfire. I think it's going to mean that Jacob is much more nimble on his feet. He's going to punch and move. He has the power. He has the chin. He's going to punch and move. He's going to be much more nimble on his feet, and I think that's going to backfire. The one person Canelo lost to, who did he lose to? He lost to Mayweather, someone who can punch and move. Can he actually? The other people he had trouble with, Lara. What did Lara do? Punched and move. So if you have good movement, you know Canelo is still slow. He's got quick hands, but as you can see, even with the Amir Khan fight for the first 5 or 6 rounds, he has slightly slower feet than you'd expect of a fighter from his side, of his caliber. So therefore, Jacob, with the hydration clause, may actually work in his favour. I don't think even without the hydration clause, he's going to knock out Canelo. I don't think that happens. Canelo has a great chin. If Triple G couldn't knock him out, Jacob isn't going to knock him out. So if Jacob can't knock him out, how do you win it? You win it on points. You win it by frustrating him. You win it by punching and moving. So the hydration clause might actually work in his favour. Great card. Really loving it. The atmosphere, as I can see, and I'm a bit late going to Vegas, is magnificent. You've got all the reporters, you've got all the fighters, you've got the ex-fighters. It's going to be great. You know, the arena is magnificent, so I'm really looking forward to that. So that's the preview. What are my thoughts currently? Well, as we're talking about this, let's just talk about the announcement which happened today, Joshua's new opponent. I really like it. I mean, people were disappointed with Baby Miller failing the drug test. I love the new opponent. I really do. For those of you who don't know, Andy Ruiz Jr. is a Mexican. He comes to fight. He's going to give it a go. I love that. It's made the fact that I have tickets for Joshua Ruiz now just that much more nicer. I was a bit scared, I'll be honest. I was a bit terrified that the new opponent for Joshua was going to be someone who was going to be knocked out in 2 rounds. That is not happening. It's Andy Ruiz Jr. Now, he may not look the part, but I can guarantee you 4 things with Andy Ruiz. Firstly, he has fast hands. Secondly, he's Mexican. He's going to give it a proper go. Thirdly, he can take a punch. He can actually take a punch. Fourthly, he has power. He's not like Baby J Miller or even the stooped up Baby J Miller with no punch power. He has punch power. This is going to be a really great fight. I can see this being an 8-round war before Joshua eventually makes his power count and either stops or starts to dismantle Andy Ruiz Jr. I would not be surprised if Andy Ruiz Jr. actually gave a great account of himself, went to 12 rounds, and it was a very close fight on the cards. I would not be surprised by that. The other thing you have to take into account is Joshua has been training for Baby Miller. Baby Miller's a big beast. He's massive. He's over 350 pounds. He's tall. Andy Ruiz is a bit shorter, not as big, a little bit quicker on his feet. Actually, much quicker on his feet, much quicker hands. Different opponent. You have 4 weeks of sparring to try and adjust to a different opponent. Can you do it? You know what happened with Joshua and TAKAM? Do you remember that, guys? When it was a guy who pulled out. Was it Pulev who pulled out? Yeah, Pulev. Pulev pulled out. TAKAM was a late replacement. Guess what happened? Joshua struggled with TAKAM. Why? Because he was training for Pulev and then he had the shorter, stockier TAKAM and he struggled with TAKAM. Actually, one of the fights he struggled with in recent memory. The same thing could happen with Andy Ruiz Jr. It's a great fight. It's a magnificent fight. You have to see this fight. If you can't go there, there are some tickets still available. I mean, not really ringside. Actually, there were, when I looked yesterday, there were a couple of tickets for sort of the VIP ringside, $5,000 a person, which is a lot. But there are tickets available at the $600-700 mark, which gives you a great view and you're quite near ringside. So those are the tickets I would get if you want to get those tickets. If you haven't got the tickets, buy the tickets. If you can't afford the tickets, get Dazn. Get Dazn, or however they pronounce it, D-A-Z-N, Dazn. Watch the Joshua fight, watch the Usyk fight, watch the fight this weekend. Dazn is the place to be. If you actually buy it today or tomorrow, you will get all the fights. You get the Jacob Canelo fight. You will get the Joshua, you get the Joshua card. You get the Usyk fight. You get all these fights, all for 1 month of subscription. It's insane value. Look, watch it there, but you have to watch this fight. I'm telling you, this is going to be a great fight. It's probably going to be a better fight than Wilder Brazil. Although I do like Wilder Brazil too. I think Brazil's going to be much better than people expect. But this is going to be a great fight. You have to watch this. And do you know what? Actually, I think it's a blessing in disguise. I think the fact that Baby J Miller pulled out is a blessing in disguise, because the undercard is now so much stronger. You've got Callum on there, the super middleweight, the best super middleweight in the world. That's going to be a great fight. You've got so many other people on there. The undercard's been boosted up. Why has it been boosted up? Because there was a change of opponent. So not only are you getting a better opponent at the top end with Joshua, because Andy Ruiz Jr., in my opinion, is a much better opponent, you're also getting a better undercard, which makes it even great. Really looking forward to that fight. So that's a little bit about, you know, the change of opponent with Joshua. But this weekend is the big one, Canelo Jacobs. I love the Jacobs story. I love the survival from cancer. He should not have been walking. He should not, forget boxing, he should not be able to walk. He learned to walk. He got over cancer. He learned to box again. He's now in his prime. He should not be doing that. The doctor said no. It's a great story, and he's a great guy. And you have Canelo. Whatever you think about the contaminated meat, and you know, people have different opinions, he's a great boxer. He's a big, or probably the number one with Joshua. I call them 1 and 1A, both of them. I can't really say 1 and 2. I think it's 1 and 1A. But he with Joshua is the biggest star in boxing at the moment. So you're seeing a inspiring story and a great boxer who's going to give Canelo trouble with one of the biggest stars in boxing, Canelo. What a great fight. You have to be there. If you can't be there again, get Dazn. Seriously, if you're any kind of serious boxing fan, you have to get Dazn. You know, you have to get Dazn. I mean, it's a no-brainer. I don't get any referrals from that. I don't get any benefits from this, but you have to get Dazn. Seriously, get Dazn. You need to for this card. I'll talk to you again. I'm going to be making boxing videos, getting interviews as I go to all these cards. I'll talk to you again. We'll probably do a review of the Canelo Jacobs card too, for the boxing piece of the channel. And for those of you, if you want to hear more about boxing, if you want to hear more about with me, if you want to see some of the footage, click on subscribe and click on the notification button and you'll get it. I'll be making lots of videos. Thank you so much for listening to my preview. We're looking forward to it. 2 days to go. Such a great card in Vegas. Looking forward to that, and looking forward to all the cards after that. So yeah, let's keep watching, keep enjoying boxing. Boxing is doing magnificently well right now. Take care. See you soon.